Boa noite. Boa noite. Você tá com a está funcionando bem? Tá funcionando. Bota. Tô voltando. Precisa de dinheiro, pegar. Tem mais a massa dele também, não dá pra carregar. Eu vou tirar uma hora, você vai ver. Vou pegar. Eu vou pegar um tempinho, pegar um monte de coisa, deixar todas as armas, que até que é um lugar bom pra fazer uma limpa. Guardar minhas armas na nave e catar um monte de coisa pra ter dinheiro pra pagar a hipoteca da minha casa. Meu Deus, mano, onde esse cara mora? Será que é pulável até lá? Ah! Foi? Caralho. Aff. Meio complicado. Como que você chegou aí, eu não sei. Cai não. É, gente, tem um propulsor também, né, idiota?
You came all this way just to do me a favor. Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts? Adrian sent you. She's... Did she look okay? A terramorph? She's fortunate to be alive at all. Hope you two had plenty of backup. So what's this she had you bring all the way down here after putting you in harm's way? Adrian said that, huh? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Ok. Você teletransportou, que bonitinho.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, Lou mentioned how you took care of it. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research, but I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your days. All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right, just get those cellular markers tagged. Wait, where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian. It was. An entire city wiped off the map. The swarms were so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Tau Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity. So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You wanna tell me what your plans are for it now?
Não sei.
Because until now, the terramorphs that wiped out Londinian had the good sense to stay put. What happened there? It was a tragedy, but at least it was contained. So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world, well, we don't have enough information to know precisely what this means. But I doubt it's good. So I'd love to know what it is you're planning from here. The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
Ah, o bonzinho me deu um atalho, beleza. Porra, Percival, você não tem porra nenhuma nesse laboratório, hein, filho? Porra, nem uma curazinha pra fazer, pra dar uma moral. Nossa, falou isqueirinho caro. Rapaz, copo aqui é caro, hein? Pera aí, Percival. Não dá remédio, Percival. Quero remédio, remédio. Remédio. Ai! Tava num lugar grande, hein? Coisas pra pegar. Não, vambora, já tive aqui. Bora, Percival! Ah, tá aqui. Peraí, primeiro deixa eu vender umas coisinhas aqui, rapidinho. Eu quero... Sim, eu quero te socar um monte de entulho que eu não quero. Isso. Vamos lá.
Sounds like a plan. See you around.
Obrigado.
I hate it here already. We just moved here.
Vamos lá.
Adrian.
Personal. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here
Us.
showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
Was that Percival walking through there with you? Oh, glad to see he's still kicking.
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble. That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. Well, when the Colony War came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Varun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all three factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that. The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind. Of course. You deserve the full story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done. No. We were both dismissed after the war for what we did. These days, we're just concerned citizens, with a very particular area of expertise. Our damage has been done for a long time. Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the Cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it. Because the Terramorph project was doomed from the start. Terramorphs are too mean, too smart, too hungry to be used in combat. Trust us, we tried. The data that's in the archives, it's historical write-ups, anatomical notation, food chain analyses. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a Xeno-Warfare logo on it. You have my word. It's not a threat. I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun on our side, that won't be easy.
Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's gonna be up to us to get them on board. That's all I'm asking. Thank you. Now I need to get this work up in the Cabinet's hands. Once that's done, I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Rapaz, mas que missão secundária grande, hein? Ô Vasco, você tinha sumido, meu querido.
Captain, do you require my assistance? Let me know if I can be of assistance in the future. Captain, it is... Good day, Captain.
I'm just gonna wait until that drug's in production.
Vambora, Vasco.
I'm telling
Vem cá.
everyone Percival and I saved Mars.
Vem cá! Você tem coisa aí que eu quero vender.
Freestar Collective and United Colonies authorities appear hesitant to officially
Hey there.
clamp down on the Clintons.
Isso, Vasco. Vem cá, vem cá, vem cá, vem cá, vem cá. Pra cá, pra cima. Vambora.
It's good for them to get that experience. For sure. My parents always thought it was too dangerous.
Captain, greetings. I will happily carry whatever you need. Goodbye for now.
Take your time. And ask, hey, you looking for anything in particular? Yeah, let's get you hooked up.
Não, eu tô comprando, eu quero vender. Coachman, deixa eu ver se eu tenho uma Coachman aqui, ó. É isso aí. Equinox. Faca. Nossa, tem 16 essa Grendel aqui.
Yo, stay good out there. Hey, welcome to the Sidonia. Happy to help. Take a look at what I've got. Come back anytime.
Good day, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I will await your next order here. Greetings, Captain. Travel safely.
Just because the governor's office is right out there.
Ué? Ô caceta! Pô, o jogo travou, me jogo cuspiu. É das manhas. Ai, gente, agora onde que esse jogo vai me voltar? Ai, eu tinha vendido aquilo tudo. Ai, que ódio! Puta que pariu, puta que pariu, que merda!
Take your time and ask me if you need anything. I'm here to help.
Hello, Captain. I am relieved you have given up on care.
Ódio, gente, que ódio!
Goodbye. For now.
We got lots of stuff. Cool. Yo, stay good out there.
How can I be of service, Captain? How may I be of service? Goodbye, Captain.
I do.
Always nice to kick back and throw a beer after a while.
Não me joga pra fora. Carrega.
Your clothes clean, your boots polished, your mirrors shine. People say I need more hobbies. Gladly, I'll treat every one of your items like the sacred totems they are.
Roupa de marginal. Pô, até que os marginais lá de New City se vestem bem.
Let me know if you want to talk some more.
Que missãozinha grande, hein?
Captain! Over here! The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone.
Eita.
Of a man named Francois Sanon. One-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War. Former head of the UC Navy. They called him Invictus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come. A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels. But there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it. He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of Guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life. eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Banheiro. Vocês usam pasta? A gente tá no ano 2300. Vocês usam pasta de papel ainda?
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope will determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor. All knowledge related to the technologies banned by the UC and the Freestar Collective after the Colony War resides in the archives, including the aforementioned Terramorph data you and Hadrian are after. I want to know what you, someone with less direct involvement in the Armistice, sees as the purpose behind granting said access. That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives? That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
that point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections,
eu tô pegando todos os louros dela.
To give our full backing to make the request to. What was that?
Epa!
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport.
Puta que pariu.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God. There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there. We're needed down at the spaceport.
Vamos. Não.
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got. Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
Tem alguma arma não letal aqui, gente?
It is useless to attempt defeating.
Lights out on that one!
Fazer.
It would be wise to search the enemy's remains for valuables. Enemy damage received.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there. I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph. Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Hostile wife nearby.
No time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
Has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
Meu Deus, destruiu tudo.
Don't just stand there. Good.
Agarrei. Agora é tacar a arma de verdade. Corre, desgraça!
We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Deu já.
We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can. Those things, they turn people against us.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts. Roger that. We're on you.
Someone wants to take us on? Bring it.
Emergency. Circuits overloaded.
Ô buceta, sai daqui. Ai, que merda. Bosta! Anda, carrega!
They're going to eat you.
Inox Mega Map. Ô bosta! Dedos. Ai, tô alucinado, caralho. Porra!
All wrapped up. We should go tell the sergeant what happened.
Hi. Please allow me to assist you with carrying your items. Let me know if I can be of assistance in the future.
Heavens, you're back in one piece. I guess our people weren't so lucky.
Tinha você, hein, filho? Nossa, mas tem umas coisas aqui que o cara é bem cuzão.
The few protecting the many.
And it would have been plenty more if it hadn't been for the two of you. The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time.
Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Tá conhecendo os caminhos, isso é interessante.
Those people are getting treated now. Don't know what would have happened if you hadn't shown up when you did.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, Captain. Hadrian. It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you. We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical themselves. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
They're not killing her.
I'm gonna go check in with the chief engineer. Start getting a plan together for that data. No chance we'd get anything if it was me going. I'll coordinate putting the data to good use with the cabinet. We'll be ready to move as soon as you've got it.
The things we do here, the tech we develop, it's all of humanity.
Pardon?
Chief Yassine, these orders, a Vanguard captain.
Você tá apoiando em quê, minha querida? Tá abraçando o fantasma? Nossa, que cabelinho peruca, hein, filha?
That
Credo.
must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Huh. All right, we'll start at the beginning. When the Colony War ended, the UC and Freestar Collective came to the agreement some weapons needed to be off limits. Mechs, xeno-warfare. So they gathered up all the relevant research materials and sealed that information away. Terramorph data included, in the archives here in the city. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people, the ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun, to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done. No. Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated on the fly based on biometric keys kept by each of the ambassadors on their person at all times. They're impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with the ambassadors, meaning we're accessing nothing if we can't get them on our side. It won't be.
Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun? Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
Of course, but there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out. The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador.
I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Ah, the good Ambassador Ratcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code. Never underestimate the universe's ability to surprise. That's why we have Plan B. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
I asked my boss what they're doing to stop new alien attacks. He said, top line is running.
You're looking as glorious as ever, Captain.
Chamar mais alguém, né? Pra minha coisa aqui. Vou adiantar um pouco a missão principal também, né?
P1 is a good place to connect with them.
Go to Mars, they said. The pay is great, they said.
Hey! Haven't seen you around here before. Did you just move in? Oh, yeah? Word gets around, I guess. Well, if you got a way to get off-world, then maybe you can help. I found out recently that my favorite book series, Dragonstar Force, had a very limited initial run. I really want to collect all the first editions, but it's hard for me to get them shipped all the way out here. I already tracked down Volume 1. Could you go buy it and bring it back here for me? I'll pay you back, of course. Plus, extra for your trouble. They're these old science fiction fantasy books about space and good versus evil and a mysterious magical relic called the Dragon Star. Now, there's this team of heroes who fight space wizards and dragons, demons, and whoever else seeks to take over the galaxy using the Dragon Star. You will? Wow, you're the first person to actually agree to do it. Thanks. Like I said, I'll make it worth it to you. You won't regret it.
Complained of a hangover after spending a night in Neon.
You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple landings. Got anything you need to offload? Trade Authority is always buying. Kiosk right here for you.
Slowly and turn around. Try to run, and we open fire.
Pegando em Neon. Aqui deve ser tipo uma Las Vegas.
James Newell better watch his back. He's causing problems. No percentage in causing problems in Neon.
Welcome to Ryujin Industries. Can I help you? You must be one of the candidates that Imogene Salzo is interviewing today. Her office is down the hallway to my left. Take another left at the conference room, follow it around to the right and up a small flight of stairs. Then take a left and keep heading that way until you see her office. Sounds like a maze, right? So if you want me to walk you back there or have any questions, just let me know. And hopefully I have some answers. Between you and me, I think Imogene is about done with the whole process. You won't believe the people we've been getting. I heard the hiring algorithm Yuko made approved all applicants. And of course Yuko bailed when interview time hit. It's technically her job. And Imogene is furious. Imogene Salzo is my idol. She's ruthless, but still knows how to behave around everyday people, if you know what I mean. She's probably next in line to take over for Ularu Chen, head of operations here, which would be a godsend considering Chen has no filter and loves to speak her mind. No one loves brutal honesty that much. Oh wow, you're serious? Well, Ryujin is the tech industry leader in the settled systems, mostly known for neuroamps which exploded on the scene about 15 years ago. Other than that, our products include operating systems, security, various quality of life improvements for the home. We're like a full package. If you really want more info, I'd recommend reading up at one of the kiosks. They've got this company's entire history listed. At least the history they want you to know. Good. Best not keep Imogene waiting too long. And the offer still stands if you need someone to show you the way. Of course, follow me. This current floor we're on is the main operations level. It's where the grunt work happens for this department. Research, data entry, more busy work than you can stand. Most of the people here are technicians that report to Yuko, but there's a handful of operatives that report to Imogene. And here we are. Good luck in there. I'll probably see you on your way out. Better get in there.
I hope you're more prepared than the last one. Have a seat. The sooner you sit down, the sooner we can get this over with. All right, just to get a few things straight here. I'm Imogen Salzo, Senior Operations Specialist here at Ryujin Industries. I don't normally do this, but my counterpart Yuko is indisposed at the moment, so here I am. We're looking for someone to fill an entry-level administrative position. Apparently our algorithm felt you were a decent match. So let's get this started. Why do you want to work for Ryujin Industries? Pretty knowledgeable answer for someone who claimed to have no familiarity with Ryujin and our product lines. You're either a bit too modest or smart enough to put in a little research before coming here. Oh, and only one of those qualities is of any use. I assume you know which one. Why do you consider yourself qualified for a job like this? Including this job? The art of the deal can go a long way here. If what you say is true, you'll have department heads fighting over you in no time. How motivated are you to succeed? All in, huh? At least that's an attitude we can work with here. And finally, my last question. If you worked here for 5 years, what role would you see yourself in?
Eu 5 meses aqui, quanto mais 5 anos.
If you can make any deal happen, management is just the tip of the iceberg. So look, since there's a million other things I'd rather be doing than this, not to mention that this isn't even my job, you're hired. On a probationary period, of course. First order. There's a meeting starting soon, and I need you to pick up the coffee order at Terra Brew. Fairly easy, so you shouldn't be able to screw it up. If there's a line, skip it. Tell them you're here for Imogen Salzo, and you should get served right away.
Welcome to Terra Brew. How can I help you? Oh, the Ryujin order. You must be new. What happened to Tomo? Did he finally get that promotion?
I got fired is what happened. And this is the soulless suit they got to replace me.
Tomo, I'm sorry. I know how hard you were working for that promotion.
4 years behind a desk, getting coffee, kissing up to that high and mighty Ularu Chen, just to get replaced by this nobody? Hearing that ad should have been the first sign they were gonna get rid of me. I bet Ularu was just waiting for the moment to hire you. And now that I've been terminated, it's only a matter of time before they send you after me. So I'm taking matters into my own hands. Believe me.
Uai, que é isso, gente? Calma.
You want to talk? I'll tell you what. You get one chance to prove you deserve this job. Change my mind, and I'll walk away. Fail, and I think you know where this is headed. I don't care what you say. Nothing Ryujin does is fair and square. Don't make me laugh. I pull this trigger, you're dead. No, I have to do this. You don't understand. It can't be helped. I have no choice here. Look, at some point, Ularu really will send you after me. Just promise me you'll remember this. That when I came after you, I gave you the chance to talk me down. Let's just say Ryujin doesn't like loose ends. Chen fired me, and now she's gonna see me as a liability. And that's why it's just a matter of time before our paths cross again. Okay, and when they do, I'm just hoping you'll listen to me, like I listened to you. You're either one of the few good people in Neon, or you already know a thing or two about leverage. Just don't make me regret this.
Hey, no
Que cara louco.
security here. Take it from me, Ryujin will handle any drama that may come from this. You'll want to be sure to report it to them. Tomo had been Ryujin's errand boy for some time now. Lots of ambition. Dying to get up that food chain, if you know what I mean. He always seemed really nice, so a stunt like that? I never saw it coming. Ryujin has connections everywhere. Even Benjamin Bayou. You know, the very man that runs Neon. They're practically untouchable around here. Just getting in with them, you're setting yourself up for life. Well, provided you don't get fired first, of course. Are you serious? That's the most excitement I've had in months. I feel like I should be thanking you.
Ela é simpática.
Yes, of course. Here it is. Oh, and please let Mr. Cho know that we did have the recommended maintenance done. I triple-checked the grind myself, and a mistake like that will never happen again.
Need a pick-me-up? At Terra Brew, we've got you covered. Each of our unique starship models is expert and crafted, ready to make your ultimate discovery.
Clover over at Kelp Corp. She's too good for Neon. Sounds like she's trying to help someone. Honestly.
hope that coffee is still hot considering the time it took you to get it. You either need to learn this city or how to deal with distractions. So, what was the holdup? Good answer. And the one I was hoping for, since we learned of the incident before your return. Your handling of the Tomo situation has caught some attention, and we'd like to try you out in a different role at the company. And since Yuko isn't here to object, your new position starts right now. So, congratulations, you've been promoted. Not
Nossa, eu
bad for
peguei
your first
café e
day,
fui
right?
promovido.
No more coffee errands, but depending on how you look at it, the word errands technically still applies. Let me explain. I'm promoting you to junior operative. The position is a bit more complicated and completely confidential. Your main duty is to add influence when necessary to ensure success of the business. Any questions so far?
Claro.
In any case where a threat to success is established, one of us is sent out to create a more desired outcome. This may be through a conversation or presenting some new information. It's all very situational, as you'll soon see. Well, it depends on the job, really. If someone can't be persuaded with words, perhaps a more forceful approach is necessary. You're basically removing obstacles from the equation. Like any good corporation, we consider what we do here to be a trade secret. If others knew and could mimic our actions, it would take away our edge. Really? Well, this transition may be easier than I thought. Now, let's get that coffee delivered. I'll gladly take mine. And since Yuko's still a no-show, feel free to keep hers. The other recipients are eagerly waiting for you in the conference room.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
Don't cause any trouble.
Ah, coffee. You'd think we'd want to support our own subsidiary and get tranquility more often, but Terra Brew it is. For the past 5 years, Tranquility is a recent acquisition and we've only just begun to develop the brand. You may have seen how several vendors carry the product now. Terra Brew would be a substantial purchase, but we fully intend to develop the Tranquility brand. Current projections are set to surpass Terra Brew within the next 5 years. Tea-talk aside, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lyndon Calderi, Chief Financial Officer. I'll be the one deducting expenses from your pay every time you manage to screw up, which hopefully won't be often. Yes, mistakes are often costly and involve substantial cleanup, both literally and figuratively. Law enforcement, witnesses, evidence, everything has its cost. We'll see. We've yet to have an operative with a perfect record. This introduction was not annoying. I hope our future encounters are as productive.
Eles são um pão de pau no cu, hein, fi?
So, fetching coffee 1 minute and junior operative the next. Gamden Cho, supply chain manager for Ryujin. We won't work together much, but as part of the same department, hopefully I'll be seeing you around. I have the glorious job of keeping all the departments supplied with exactly what they need. Anything from rare materials for R&D to slates and design software for marketing. You could say I'm the one aspect of operations that keeps this department legit. Ah, so she remembered. Not that I expect much out of Terra Brew coffee, but hey, I suspected their grinder was on its last leg. Anyway, welcome to the team. Oh, and just a heads up, people in your position don't typically see the brighter side of Ryujin Industries. But rest assured, this is a great company, and the work we do goes toward benefiting millions. I get your point, but if anything, take comfort in knowing that you're the one deciding the methods behind your assignments. Not only that, but corporate espionage is the norm. Ryujin just handles it better than most. Competitor operatives have done far worse to accomplish less. Well, neuroamps for one. They aid in mental illness, confidence boosting, and focus. Drone robots for maintenance and security, tranquility for relaxation, Arboron for protection. Your work only helps us improve and expand upon these products that so many people love and benefit from. Sometimes it takes drastic measures to ensure we can deliver the best products possible. Of course, you'll be forming your own opinions as you go. Just keep an open mind. Oh, and thanks for the coffee.
Coffee, finally. Well, let's have a look at you. That depends on your actions going forward. I'm Alexis Price, head of the legal department here, and I'll be direct. Any legal troubles you cause as an operative, witnesses, getting arrested, are my troubles. So steer clear of law enforcement. We may have connections with Administrator Bayou and the Freestar Rangers, but they aren't the ones I prefer to abuse. For one, our connections with Bayou automatically grant us a slight connection with the Rangers. He has some amount of influence with his seat on the Council of Governors. But our strongest connection is local, with Ranger Price. He's the Freestar Ranger stationed here on Neon, and much to my dismay, my son. He could have been an amazing lawyer or businessman. But instead, he's chosen to waste his talents to protect the people of the Freestar Collective. Administrator Bayou runs Neon, and is on the Freestar Collective's Council of Governors. We have a long-standing symbiotic relationship due to the contributions that Ryujin Tower brings to Neon. Let's hope your best is good enough.
Just what I needed. Imogene said she hired someone new. I'm Genevieve, head of marketing and public relations. I'm Genevieve, head of marketing and public relations. Me and an entire department at my back. Anyway, it's good to put a face to the new operative. The only question now is how much work are you going to be? Cleanup, of course. Journalists are pretty quick at putting 2 and 2 together. And I get the pleasure of making sure those connections are never made. Or, if they are, handling the fallout. Oh boy, you're gonna be a real handful. Just know that one screw-up for you means a lot of overtime and sleepless nights for me and my team. So, any precautions you can take will be greatly appreciated.
Bando de pau no cu. Obrigado, foi só um sonho.
Imogen and Yuko run a tight ship around here.
I hope you enjoyed your little meet and greet. I thought you'd like to know the execs who you'll be impacting while on the job. That doesn't surprise me. Now that you've met a few of the execs, let's get you started. We've reason to believe that our friends at Kelt Corp are trying to hack into our R&D server, since we're both competing for a contract right now. Hardly. This is the standard run-of-the-mill tactic we've come to expect from them. We can't allow them to win the contract, nor can we allow the action to go unpunished. I'll be giving you a data slate with a file that you'll need to upload through one of their computers. Think of it as a lesson that Kelt Corp gets to learn the hard way. That's up for you to determine. Think of it as the creative aspect of your job. There's always more than one way to get a job done around here. I should hope so, considering this is your job, not a favor. Here's the data slate. Good luck.
I'd hate to be on Miss Olzo's bad side.
I heard there's shortages over at Reliant Medical. Not great. Doc Manning better get his act together before the
Live your best life. Be here when you need credits. Our certified technicians will quickly accept me.
Just one quiet thing. So much to ask for.
Don't you have something better to do?
Something I can do for you, love. Again. Look, you can tell Mr. Okadibo that I'm doing everything I can. Blood from a stone, if you'll pardon the expression. Oh. I'm afraid I've stepped right into it again. Damn. You aren't here about Mr. Okadibo's debt to Kelkor. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Let me start over. My name's Clover McKenna, but you can call me Chloe. Sorry for me outburst. I'm not sure. I think he's afraid that I won't be here. He'll have to deal with my father. Someone who has a lot less patience than I do. Just a few weeks ago, he paid some poor fella to come up here and request a bit more time to pay back his debt. That's why I snapped at you like that. I thought he'd done it again. You're absolutely right. I was very unprofessional. This mess with Mr. Okadibo over at the Neon Mining League has really thrown me off my game. It's a shop over in Akuchi Market. You know, the plaza next to Ryujin Tower? They sell all sorts of mining supplies and raw materials. It's a fine little shop, well stocked and immaculate. Mr. Okadibo is the owner. He's a lovely, lovely man, but his aspirations are one grav jump longer than his business instincts. Normally, yes, but in this case, Mr. Okadibo has put me in a real bind. Mr. Okadibo owes a substantial debt to Keltkor. I've given him more than enough time to try and come up with the money, but my father's patience is running out. Frankly, I don't know how much longer I can stall. For now, but let's not mistake my position for what it really is. A test set out by my father. He's set to retire in a few years, and I'm his only next of kin. But I'm guessing he's not sure if I'm ready to take over the company. So he shuttles me out here for two reasons. One, to flash a friendly face for our clients he flies out here as a perk. And two, gets his firebrand of a daughter as far away from him as possible. He's a real piece of work. Because my father has a ridiculous sense of humor, and I can't stand the name Clover. I mean, seriously, Clover? Our family's Irish, for God's sake. I don't think he could have possibly been more on the nose with that name. Ha ha, very funny, Dad. Niall? Oh, he's the CEO of Kelpcorp. The whole blessed thing. If you asked him, he'd claim he started the company with next to nothing and built it into a megacorp in under 30 years. Truth is, he tends to forget the multi-million credit trust he tapped into as a crutch. But that's my father for you. We're a tech company that primarily specializes in mining operations. We handle everything from individual standalone units to fully engineered outpost systems. Basically, if it's made of rock, our gear chews it. Might not be as glamorous as some of the other corps in this building, but it pays the bills. You'd be willing to help out. That's awfully kind of you. Just because I work for a megacorp doesn't mean I don't have a heart. Saburo, Mr. Okadigbo, he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, especially in this city. He really needs help, but he's too proud to accept any money from me. Maybe he'd listen to someone like you? Oh, that'd be splendid. Just amazing. If you can get his debt off my conscience, I'd be grateful. It's been on my mind so much I've been keeping a diary. And don't worry about payment. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. McKenna always keeps that promise. When he opened the shop, he outfitted it with equipment from our company. Spent a bundle of cash he didn't have. Obviously, business hasn't been going well, because he's fallen way behind on his payments. Opening a mining business on a world almost entirely covered in ocean probably wasn't the most savvy of business plans. I suppose he intended to cater to travelers that were passing through our system. But it's clearly backfired. A poor man. Nice visiting with you.
Another day. Keep your nose clean. Last thing I want is to charge you for a DP, an A and B, B and E, or, heaven forbid, an MS. But at least then we wouldn't have to worry about a VOP. Am I right? Hold her right there! You're under arrest. Smart move. Now come along with us. We'll take any contraband and stolen property and you'll be free to go. telling me I have to take...
Peso.
If you're wondering what that smell is, it's neon.
Gotta call someone's power.
Can't talk. I've got a deadline coming up.
Keep it moving.
If you'll excuse me, I have a deadline.
I don't know, but I gotta get out of here.
It's been non-stop interruptions since this morning, and I'm not sitting at my desk listening to Cody eat with his mouth open.
One of those days, huh?
More like one of those months. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to Teraboo right now.
Yeah? I'll go with you. We can pick up an extra for Chloe if she asks.
Neon Security, you're under arrest. You know, after conducting a thorough search, I'm surprised I didn't find any contraband. At all. But I still need to take you to the station to be processed. So you're telling me I have to... You're out there a lot, right? In space? Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spacers.
But you're going to need more supporting evidence. Imogene's a stickler for detail.
Well, look who survived their first assignment. How'd it go? Anything to report?
It's anxiety-inducing. I know what you mean, but that's your missing piece right there.
I heard you made quite the scene in the trade tower. Something I explicitly told you we wanted to avoid. If you recall, setbacks mean a lot of things for a lot of people. Payoffs, cover stories, cleanup crews. You get my drift. The cleaner your work, the more intact your payments stay. I'm sure you understand. Lucky for you, there'll be no docks in pay today. Just try to be more careful in the future. Hey!
Yeah? I'll go with you. We can pick up an extra for Chloe if she asks.
I'm glad I ended up at CalCorp. Miss McKenna treats her employees like family.
Back
Sorry,
off.
I'm busy
That's
at the
an order,
moment.
not a suggestion. I know your type. The freewheel in space, Ace. Must be nice.
No, I don't have time. Are you lost?
What? I'm working here? Are you supposed to be here?
Welcome to... Lovely day for it. Tough city. You watch yourself out there.
What? I'm working here?
I don't like the look of you. Save it for someone who gives a damn. I'm not in the mood.
I'm glad I ended up at CalCorp. Are you supposed to be here?
Can't talk, I've got a deadline coming up.